Hey everyone, it's Michael GoosebumpsFan. Today I'm going to be doing the first and probably the last book haul for a while. Today I officially finished collecting the most wanted, or not most wanted, sorry, Horrorland book series from Goosebumps from like the 2008 to 2010 era. And yeah, really excited for that. I have almost every single book from Goosebumps that have existed so far, except for that darn Attack of the Jack-o'-lanterns TV book that I'm never going to get my hands on the way it's looking. But anyway, this week is the week after Halloween. Can you believe that? This past week was Halloween. Had a blast, even though I worked. That's pretty much it. I slept that night, didn't really watch any movies or anything. It was kind of a dumb Halloween this year, frankly. I hope you had a better Halloween than I had, but like I said, November is my birthday month. It's actually November 7th is when my birthday is. This coming Thursday is what it is. And so I might have some books to show you from the birthday haul if I got any books that I put on the list to my family of things that I'd want. They're kind of middle grade Goosebumpsy type things, so maybe I'll have some stuff to show you. But they probably won't be Goosebumps books. I might have like one or two Goosebumps books in there that I needed as well. I don't exactly remember, but you know, I'll do two different videos on that at that time. Anyway, so I don't really have much to show you this week. I have 3 books this week for the Goosebumps book haul for this week. And again, like I said, we're hitting this point now where I pretty much got everything. Pretty much got everything for the Goosebumps books in total. Everything. I will be buying extras, like books that I love tremendously, that I want a secondary copy for, that I don't have to destroy, books that people gave me that I love, people that I love that gave me books, I mean. Or like a book that I love so much that that has the original cover on it, that I don't want to ruin that, or a book that's kind of rare, you know, that I love, that I don't want to ruin that book either. Kind of things like that, like Ghost Beach, for example. I love Ghost Beach. I don't understand why everybody else hates the book. I will be buying a secondary copy and an original cover copy of that, because I don't own the original cover book. I will be buying stuff like that from now on. I just want to make sure I made that explicit to you guys, because I pretty much got everything now. All the book haul videos that I have on the channel right now are pretty much what you're going to have most of the time, unless I buy something new. But even at that, is it really a haul if I just buy one book a week? So I might end up just doing like a monthly book haul. Maybe. I don't know if that's entirely what I want to do. I've kind of thought about that. But what if I have a month where I don't buy any Goosebumps books? Then you're just going to be missing a video at all. But then I was like, okay, maybe I'll buy things like, like the stuff that I want for my birthday. Like, if I get something different, like a hardcover copy of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, it's kind of Goosebumpsy. It came before Goosebumps, but it's kind of the same thing. Would I want to talk about that on the channel? I don't know. I might keep up doing book hauls. I don't know. I don't really know what to tell you guys. But if you have any ideas, let me know down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say on that as well. I just like to recommend things, but it's a little bit easier to recommend and talk about things once I've read them and do a Things Like Goosebumps video on it. Just like I just did with Halloween Bugs Me from the Ghosts of Fear Street book series. But anyway, I'm gonna kind of start cutting out the book haul videos, because I'm pretty much done. Like, there's nothing else to really buy except for copies and extras and stuff, which I'll still show you. Don't get me wrong, like I said, because those are going to be better copies. Like, I might buy like a $15 or $20 copy of Ghost Beach just because I want a good old issue cover, you know. Anyway, starting off with what's a fook? You know, anyway, starting off with the first book of this week's book haul is Goosebumps Graphics, book number 1 or volume 1, whatever you want to call it. Creepy Creatures, which this has Werewolf of Fever Swamp by Gabriel Hernandez, The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight by Greg Ruth, and The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena by Scott Morsey. I believe The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena was the one that I was looking at in here, that the artwork is awful. It looks like that comic Bone. You know, Bone is very, very well known. I'm excited a lot for Scarecrow Walks at Midnight and Werewolf of Fever Swamp, because I know Werewolf of Fever Swamp from the TV episode, and I loved it, and I've read and talked about the episode for Scarecrow Walks at Midnight, and I love both of those. So I'm curious about the art for this. I mean, I've looked through. It seems like the art's pretty cool for the other ones, especially Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. It's like a realistic kind of comic book art. I'm really stoked about that. For anybody who doesn't know what these are, I've talked about them once or twice on the channel here. They are essentially comic book adaptations of certain novels, you know, from Goosebumps, like the 3 I just mentioned from the original series. So, you know, they're kind of cool, depending on what you're into and depending on what adaptation we're talking about. I recently read and reviewed, I think it was volume 2, that had, like, Deep Trouble. And Deep Trouble was horrible in that adaptation. Just the art was awful. Anyway, moving on to the first of the last Goosebumps Horrorland books, we have book number 14, Little Shop of Hamsters by R.L. Stine. That may or may not be good. I don't know. I have almost no faith at all in this book being good. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I trust R.L. Stine. He does some really cool stuff a lot of the time, but I'm going to let you know right now, this is one of those books that I have absolutely no interest in reading, but I will read it anyway, and I bought it anyway because it's Horrorland, number one. You have to have all those books to understand what's going on through the back part of the book. That's like the last 40 pages of the book that connect all those stories from that series together. But this is just one of those books that I have no interest in from the title alone. I don't understand anything that could be cool with this, but again, I haven't read the back of the book. I don't care to. I just buy the books and I jump into them head first. It might end up being really good. I don't know. If this is one of the better ones of the Horrorland series, let me know. Horrorland as a series I don't think has necessarily been bad, but it's been kind of disappointing from what I've read so far. I think I've read the first 4 books. I think the most recent was Scream of the Haunted Mask. I think the next is Say Cheese and Die. The third one of that. Say Cheese and Die, Screaming, or something like that. I don't know. The last book that I have for today is the last Goosebumps Horrorland book that I needed. Once again, I'm not really excited for this one all that much either. A little bit more than the Hamsters book, but not by much. This is book number 15, Heads You Lose. To me, this is literally just that one book with the headless person from the old series. You know what I'm talking about. I don't remember what it was called. What was that book called? I don't remember. You know the one. It got a reissue book not too long ago, around 2015 or 16 or whatever. But this looks identical to that, and if it's a sequel, I would be a little surprised, but I don't think it is. I think it's not. I think this covers a little bit of a tribute love letter to that, but I don't know. I'm not really excited or looking forward to this. I mean, it might be good. You never know. There could be. What if this ends up being one of the scariest Goosebumps books ever? You know, it's possible, I guess, because you have like a headless person, and Headless Halloween was one of the best headless stories I've ever read in my life. I mean, whether it be Goosebumps or otherwise. So you have a chance it could be really good. I don't know. R.L. Stine does good every once in a while. I don't mean it like that. I mean, like, he does really great with certain stories that you think would suck. Great example. You Can't Scare Me. I had no faith in that book. Had no interest in wanting to read that, and I read it out of the blue, and I loved it. It was amazing. But anyway, what do you think about all 3 of these books, guys? Like I said, we finally have all of the Horrorland books. Now I just have to finish up the Most Wanted series, which I asked for my birthday. It was 2 books. And I think there was a couple of Goosebumps movie books that I needed. And that was it. I think that was it. Something like that. So we're just finishing up the Most Wanted series. And then we'll have everything. I'm really stoked, dude. I finally hit this goal of having pretty much every single one of these books. I'm very thankful, very blessed by God to have these things. Yeah, it's really all I can attribute to is it's God's thing. I mean, you know, he doesn't care about Goosebumps, but, you know, just the fact that I wanted this goal to be set there, and over a couple of years, you know, I've been able to get enough money together to be able to buy these, especially even the rarer ones. I'm really excited about that, too. But anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on all these books in this video? Put your thoughts in comments down below. Again, if you have any ideas for what I could do for future videos, please let me know. I'd love to hear that as well. I've got a little bit of indigestion, sorry. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. I'm glad you had a good Halloween. If you're watching this, then you survived. That's good. Yeah, this week's coming up my birthday. 25 years old, man. That's gonna be weird. My fiance always has this joke, too, that she always pulls on me, and to everybody that she knows that's 25, where she keeps joking and she constantly mentions the fact that you're now a quarter of a century old, and she will hit that joke to death. And I love her, but I could beat her to death over it, honestly. I just know I'm going to hear it for the rest of my life. Not really that, but the next year I'm going to hear that from her. I love her to death. She's so great. But anyway, 25 years old, man. That's a big number when you really think about it. I'm an antique now. Anyway, thank you guys. God bless you, and goodbye.